The 2016 Edward R. Murrow Award winner for overall excellence in news. This is NBC3 News at 11.
Good evening. We continue to follow breaking news out of Kirkville tonight. Crews on the scene of a massive wildfire. Ash was falling from the sky this evening. The smoke plume could be seen for miles. People calling in from all over central New York. In fact, seen from as far away as Old Forge in the Adirondacks. The calls came in of this fire that had just started around 7 o'clock tonight. Multiple fire departments, Manoa, Kirkville, Manlius, all involved. 911 dispatch tells us the fire was acres wide and it is still going. New information just into us. It has not yet been contained. This is the area where we're talking about, near the Titan Steel Corporation. That's Kirkville Road North. We did have a chance to talk with police just a short time ago as they continue to organize the effort to fight this blaze. Manlius police telling us that this fire is not yet in control and they want people to stay out of the area for safety reasons. Our Samantha German is near where the fire is burning. Sam, what can you tell us?
Matt, it's a different scene behind me than it was just an hour ago. It seemed like almost acres were lit up behind me. Now, all you can see really is a faint glow over my left shoulder here. There is still a heavy and strong smell of smoke in the air right now, and it almost looks like a heavy fog is in the air right now. Now, Manlius police tell us the fire is still not fully under control, but it is not burning around any homes, and there are no people in any danger right now. Police say the fire is on undeveloped land. Numerous fire crews are still on the scene. Officials say their biggest challenge right now is getting water to the fire. Air One was flying around earlier this evening, dumping water on the flames. We were able to talk with people who were actually up close and personal to those flames.
We just double-timed it through the woods and we came out and we saw the flames and we found a trail and we followed the trail like through cattails and it was just really close to us. And we walked back a little more and come closer and it was a big fire.
It's cool how it set up though. It was like a ring around all the burnt. Like, it wasn't thick. It was like you could run through it, but it was really hot.
Now, officials still don't know the cause of the fire, but they are saying they want to advise people to stay off of the roads around the area here because that is slowing the process down with fire crews getting that fire under control tonight. For now, reporting live in Kirkville, I'm Samantha German.
Thank you, Samantha. You can see the property behind Samantha, very rural. It is country in Kirkville. Now, the smoke was the most alarming thing for people who are not that close to the fire zone. You can see from the city of Syracuse tonight, this was our Syracuse camera shooting towards the east, and that plume of smoke so prominent, visible from miles away. These are the moments that really people were capturing just before sunset tonight. And this was something that they saw from miles away from several counties that are involved, in fact, in fighting this fire tonight. Our team coverage continues tonight of this fire. Mary Keeler was talking with people who had tried to find a vantage point to get a glimpse of something they usually don't see. She spent some time at Green Lake State Park, and she's nearby there tonight. Mary?
Matt, we were at the state park, but now we're on Kinderhook Road. We tried to find a better vantage point, and you can see behind me that there's still a little bit of the remnants of an orange glow you can see with smoke still billowing above the trees. And we actually just spoke with some onlookers here. One of them is the wife of a Chittenango fire department member. He's actually working to help kind of figure out where this fire is going to go and how they can stop it. And we talked to some onlookers at Green Lake State Park. They had been golfing there today, and they say they truly have not seen anything like this before in their lifetime.
No, I've never seen anything like this in my life. Just on TV, you know, like in California. That's about it.
Did you think it could happen here?
No, it's definitely weird seeing it here, but anything can happen, and you know, we're hoping things get under control soon.
Yeah, and as you can see, it's not something that they could really come up with a reaction to. They were kind of speechless when we kind of asked what they thought about what they were seeing. Again, if you can see behind me, I mean, it's very, very faint now because it is getting darker and darker as the night goes on, but there is still a little bit of that orange glow left above the trees. So right now we're on Kinderhook Road. I'm Mary Keeler. Matt?
Thank you, Mary, for that late update and for talking with the people who were out and noticed the fire and saw it firsthand from Green Lake State Park. Here's another look at the map. The fire was taking place off Kirkville Road North, which is what you see right in the center of the screen where you see Kirkville. And just at the bottom of the screen, just a little further south, that's Green Lake State Park. So that area that's sort of that dry brown look, which may not be a coincidence. That's the area we're talking about where most of this fire was burning on the north side of the Erie Canal and the towpath trail there for people familiar with that area of eastern Onondaga County. Now, we have other photos online on cnycentral.com. You can also catch more information, more video posted on our Facebook page, too, from when this fire was really burning tonight. I posted some video there from Green Lake State Park just after 8:15 tonight that was very dramatic. Well, Chief Meteorologist Wayne Mahar, by the way, he's been keeping an eye on the wind direction. This has been critical, Wayne, for firefighters. In fact, not only the direction, but they've been fortunate the winds weren't more robust tonight.
Yeah, well, that is very fortunate. That frankly, they've only been about 5-6 mile an hour winds, but the winds have actually in the past hour and a half have died down to just about calm across the area. But what we're looking at is a change in wind direction too. The picture that we showed, the plume of smoke, interesting. I don't know if you can picture it because I don't think we can pull that back up, but the plume of smoke was going up and sort of leaning this way, and then when it got up about 1,000, 1,500 feet, then the plume was going almost the opposite direction. Well, that's because the winds at the surface this evening, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, when the fire was getting going, really getting going, the winds were light northwest at the surface, but then the winds in the 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 feet up, winds turn light southwest. Let me show you how that turns out on radar. Here's, first of all, live triple Doppler radar brought to you by Kirkville Community College. No precipitation around, okay, but it was able to detect triple Doppler radar, the fire, the smoke plume here, and here it is. There's Kirkville, and here's a little loop of it right there. Let's zero on in. You'll see what I mean. Even though at the surface, when this loop was going, as the fire was really getting started, when it was at its brightest here, 8:30, 9 o'clock, the surface winds were northwest, which should actually take some of the smoke more in this direction. But what was going on is that as the smoke was rising, the air was rising, it got into that 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 feet up, which is that light southwest wind that I said, which is actually carrying it on up towards that way, from southwest to northeast, like that. And that's why, if you go back and you saw that picture, that's why the smoke plume was going up, going this direction first, and then when it gets 1,500 feet up, it goes the other direction. So that's how it all turns out. But the winds have gone over to light and variable right now. They're going to be like that all night long, and that's a good thing. I'll be back. We'll talk more about the weather conditions coming up for the weekend, because it's not going to be quite like we had today. Here's a look outside right now. Stanley Law Skywatch for you, overlooking the city. Route 81 from Adirondack Furniture. It's nice and quiet with a partly cloudy sky. So we'll talk more about the weekend weather and next week's summery weather in a few minutes.
Thank you, Wayne. Great explanation about the winds aloft. Now, we continue to follow the breaking news. We want to show you some more video taken from Green Lake State Park tonight. This is where people were really fixated on the sky as the blaze intensified, and that gives you another sense of the path of that plume of smoke, as Wayne was just describing. This is a video that I took there about 8:30 tonight. You could see the sun was setting, the flames were growing at that time, much more under control at this hour. However, police told us just a short time ago this fire is not yet completely under control. We'll continue to follow this and talk with the retired fire chief from DeWitt about the challenges of fighting a wildfire in our backyard when we come back. Well, we talked a lot about the wind direction related to the big wildfire in Kirkville tonight, Wayne. We also have the weekend to consider. You know, we are certain that these firefighters will be out there all night tonight, and they're going to need first light to really know where they stand in terms of this being put out. So it's going to be a long night ahead. Oh, it will be a long night ahead. And you know what? We talked about obviously the fire itself and all that, but the thing we got to consider is that even though we love days like today, which is nice and dry, and we got the sunshine, we love this weather today. What a great looking day that we had today. The fact is that we're more than 2 inches below normal on rainfall since March 1st.
So, you know, that all contributes along with the stronger sun and the greater amount of daylight and all that to, you know, drying of the surface, the brush, and, you know, makes it more easy. The downside to a sunny day like today is, you know, when it's dry, is it makes it more easy to get forest fires or fires going, brush fires going. So we could actually use a little rain when it comes right down to it. And we may have just that, just a little bit of rain here and there at times over the weekend. Here's a look at what's going on right now. Live triple Doppler radar brought to you by Kirkville Community College. All is quiet right now. Once again, let me show you Doppler radar, though. Triple Doppler radar picking up the smoke plume, and here it is. It looks like it was at strongest there at about 8:30, 9 o'clock this evening. And like I mentioned, too, shorter explanation now is that even though we had a light northwest wind, about 4 or 5 miles an hour as the fire was getting going, that was only in the bottom 1,000, 1,500 feet of the atmosphere. Notice the actual plume is actually going up this way from southwest to northeast, because you go up above 1,500 feet and the winds actually turn very light southwest. So that's what's going on here, the smoke plume going up to the northeast instead of heading southbound. Okay,
We continue to follow breaking news, the wildfire in Kirkville tonight. Right now we know only one road is closed, section of Kirkville Road North. You're looking at video of the Air One helicopter dropping water on this fire. This was a couple of hours ago, and we still had some daylight left. The fire has become greatly reduced compared to what it was at its peak, but they're not yet saying it's completely under control. Now, joining us on the phone with some expertise on this, retired DeWitt Fire Chief Gary McLaughlin. And Gary, thanks for joining us. Gary's in Old Forge tonight, but he's been monitoring how this fire was handled over the fire scanners. And Gary, what's your impression of the challenges that the folks here were facing tonight?
Well, the challenges would be we don't do this a lot. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure whether we've ever done this magnitude of a wild land fire. It's not a brush fire, it's a wild land fire before, but we trained for it. And through the federal government, we've gotten equipment to be able to fight it, and that's what they're doing out there. The second thing is darkness prevailed. You know, the fire starting around 6, 7 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, I know Air One had to pull out because they were doing water drops, and then it was left to the men and women on the ground to grunt it out with Indian pumps and 4x4 gators, and it's just an awful lot of blood and sweat that they have to grind out.
They sure do, and it does seem so far no reports of significant property damage in terms of structures, and also no reports of significant injuries. It seems to me as darkness falls, that concern about firefighter safety also rises, doesn't it?
Exactly, and I think Air One is probably, or at least they have been back up in the air, at least lighting the area up so that you don't have people falling into ravines or into the canal or whatever as they're focusing on beating the fire back. So hopefully, as I mentioned off air to you, we haven't gotten used to in the Northeast here what they're used to out west, which you see is, you know, people building so close to the wildland that sometimes the wildland bites back, and hopefully that wasn't the case here, and it sounds like we've saved structures and we've got things under control pretty soon. But it's a 4 or 5 hour battle, which I don't think we've got 4 counties out there fighting the fire.
Yeah, just about any department that could either make its way there or was backing up departments that had made their way there. This was a busy night for pretty much the whole firefighting community, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Gary McLaughlin, thanks very much for your expertise. We appreciate you joining us during this breaking news tonight. Enjoy the rest of your time in the Adirondacks this weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Still to come on NBC 3 News at 11, the Syracuse Chiefs, used to saying fire, I almost put it together with the baseball squad. Not tonight. Sports Director Nico Tamurian has baseball highlights when we come back.
And now, NBC3 Sports, brought to you by Karuba Collision.
Everything the Oranges worked for is on the line tomorrow. Good evening, I'm Nico Tamurian. Syracuse lacrosse has had their ups, their downs, and then some more ups this season on the way to being one of the last 8 teams left in college lacrosse. Tomorrow, it'll all come to a head. Syracuse taking on the top seed Maryland. The winner off to the Final Four. Syracuse hoping to punch its ticket for just the first time since 2013, second time since 2009. Certainly memories linger of the Terps upsetting the Orange for a Final Four bid 5 years ago, but there's no current players this year that were on that squad. There was, though, a West Genesee duo in Tim Barber and Dylan Donahue that were watching that game as West Genny Wildcats. They remember it and they want redemption.
As we've seen, we're really hot right now, and I think we can do some things this weekend. And we hear it all the time this year in college lacrosse: is expect the unexpected, and anybody's beatable. So I think that's our focus right now. It's not really focused on that they're the 1 seed and they're the best team in the country right now, but rather than it's just a matchup between two teams, and whoever plays well is going to win it.
Yeah, the game's definitely different now. But you never know. We're looking to make the most out of our chances, and I'm sure they're doing the same. So I think it's whoever comes to play.
It might be the only way, but when championship runs are formed, it's kind of in May that they get going here. When consider this, certainly the Syracuse Chiefs are part of the International League's North Division. It's a cluster of 6 teams in which 4 teams are within 1 game of first place. That's pretty tightly packed, so there's a lot of separating to be had over the course of the next 3 months. The Syracuse Chiefs did have a 3-game lead on the rest of the league briefly earlier this month. That is now gone, for at least for the moment, but not for good. Trey Turner on second. Brian Goodwin slaps the base hit up the middle. Turner scores 1-0 Syracuse. Later in the inning, Goodwin's on third. It's a wild pitch. Close play. Goodwin wheels in for the run, just beats the throw. 2-0 Syracuse. They're up 3-zip when Norfolk rallies. Bases loaded. The Tides getting 2 of those runs back by a 2-run double from Daryl Alvarez. But Syracuse, they never give up that lead. They lead 3-2 after that play, and then they get some insurance. Matt Skoll able to line through the hole and left. Jose Lozada, Trey Turner score. Syracuse wins 6-2, mere percentage points behind first place at the moment. Finally, our special needs Little Leaguers finally have a field to call their own. A special day, a ceremony so long in the making, comes your way tomorrow. The Challenger Field of Dreams on Roby Ave in DeWitt officially opens at 2 o'clock tomorrow. A special ceremony with Joni Mahoney throwing out the first pitch, players taking the field shortly after. An idea that was once a pipe dream in a small meeting room in DeWitt is now about to be reality.
It's amazing how the community has come together, but the support that we've received and the number of people, organizations, institutions that have gotten behind this project has been truly amazing. And so as we go forward, we just think that the momentum and the potential for dreaming larger and bigger, it's sending us to new heights.
We will certainly bring you that ceremony tomorrow on NBC3 News at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Nico. We'll be right back. You continue to follow breaking news out of Kirkville tonight. We've been on this story all evening. Crews on the scene of a massive wildfire. Ash was falling from the sky. People reporting how they could see the plume of smoke for miles, in fact, counties away. In fact, as far away as Old Forge in the Adirondacks, that smoke was spotted tonight. And you can see at its peak, the fire was really raging. Here's where it's located, near Titan Steel Corporation. This is on Kirkville Road North. We did have a chance to talk with one of the manliest police officers who were there helping to fight the fire tonight.
At this point in time, I don't have any information about the origin or how it started. I can tell you that right now the fire is not fully contained. However, it is not burning near any homes. There's no people in danger at this point in time. It's burning on undeveloped land. They've been able to put out fires in certain areas, and then in other areas they were not able to completely put it out. Specifically, one of the messages I want to relay is to ask people to stay out of the area. We have a large amount of the public showing up just to look and see what they can see, and that slows down that firefighting effort.
And that was from about 45 minutes ago now. This is the Air One helicopter that was helping by putting water drops onto this fire since about 7:30 tonight. That was certainly helpful. The fire probably peaked in size around 8:30, 8:45 when it was really raging. People that were at Green Lake State Park could see the wide stretch of fire off to the north in the area of Kirkville Road North. And as the officer just said there, it was largely an undeveloped land, which is good for people and their property and safety of the personnel involved, but also help explains how this fire was fueled. by all the dry vegetation likely on the ground. No origin named just yet. And the firefighters departments from across central New York will be there throughout the night tonight. We'll see what they find come daybreak. One more check on the weather now with Chief Meteorologist Wayne Mahar. Wayne?
Okay, the Matt 7-day weather outlook for tomorrow. I think we start out dry in the morning, and then from midday on into tomorrow afternoon, on into tomorrow night, on into Sunday, mostly cloudy. There'll be some scattered showers around, more numerous, especially south and east of here. 67 tomorrow, 68 degrees on Sunday, and then we got a real nice stretch of even warmer weather coming in here for the early and middle part of next week. Have a good weekend, Matt.
Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate that. That is NBC 3 News at 11. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Mulcahy. Have a great night. We'll see you later on.